Hi guys, welcome back to a new video, and today we are going to take a look at the tips and tricks of the Samsung Galaxy S20 FE. Now there is going to be a huge number of users who are going to use the Galaxy S20 FE for the very first time. This phone is good enough that it can make you switch from any other brand or any other smartphone to this one. So for all such users, this video is going to be really useful. The existing Samsung users will find some of these tips and tricks familiar. But nevertheless, we are still going to have a look at all the tips and tricks that are going to be really useful on this phone. So before we begin, please make sure that you hit the subscribe button, press the bell icon, and also thumbs up if you find this video useful at some point. Also make sure guys you watch this video until the end. So without any further ado, let's go ahead. Now first of all, I am going to show you a tip to boost up the speed of your fingerprint scanner. Now you can see that how long the phone takes to unlock. It's not really slow, but there is still a room for improvement. What you can do is you can go to the settings of the phone, and now in the settings go to the biometrics and security. Now here you can find the biometric preferences. Now in the biometric preferences, first of all, turn off the screen transition effect. Okay, and now go to the fingerprints, type your password, and here you can find the fingerprint animation, show animation when unlocked, turn it off. And now you will go to the applications here, and here click on show system apps, type biometrics, click on this one, and now go to the battery and turn off its battery optimization. Alright, we are all set now. Let me show you how fast the fingerprint scanner is going to be now. Here you go. You can see that it's lightning fast now. Now the next step that is also very important is to change the settings of the side key of your phone. By default, this side key is going to launch the Bixby. You would want to set it to the typical power menu. So what you can do is go to the set notifications panel of the phone, and here click on this power button. Now click on side key settings, and here change it to power off menu. Now this will change the key settings from Bixby to power off menu once again, and the Bixby will not come up as it used to do. You can see that now when you will press the power off button, it will just turn off the phone, and when you will long press it, it will bring the power menu. Now here you can also change the behavior of the key when you double press it. You can set it to quickly launch the camera, open Bixby, or open any application of your own choice. The next tip also belongs to the home screen of the phone. When you are using the phone and you swipe towards left, you can see that the Samsung Daily comes up here. If you don't want this Samsung Daily to come up here, you can just go to an empty area of the home screen, long press any area, and just swipe towards left, and here you can see this button. Just turn it off and you are done. The Samsung Daily is now turned off, and it will also add to the speed of your phone. Alright guys, let's move into the notifications toggles of this phone. There are so many features in the notifications toggles. So just pull down the notifications panel of your phone and take a look at the DeX. Now the DeX has changed with the One UI 2.5. Samsung changed it to wireless DeX. You don't need the wires to connect the phone to the TV now. Just pull the phone out of your pocket. You have to have a Samsung Smart TV or any other TV with such features, and you can just wirelessly transform your phone into a TV. You can even use your smartphone as a mouse. When you connect it to a TV, the option to change your phone into a mouse appears in the notifications panel of your phone. Go to the second page of the notifications toggle, and here first of all you can find the nearby share feature. The nearby share feature will let you easily share files, data, and any other thing between two Samsung smartphones with the same feature. So the nearby feature basically uses NFC in my opinion, and it's a really good feature if you want to share files of over GBs of size within a matter of a few seconds. By the way, there is one more feature in the Samsung smartphones, that is the quick share feature, and that works in quite a similar manner to the nearby feature. For the quick share feature, you will just go to the file manager or gallery of your phone, select a file, video, image, or anything else, click on share, and here you will click on the quick share feature. The other Samsung phone that has its visibility turned on, that will appear here, and you can share your files on the go with the other device. This is similar to how Apple's AirDrop works, and this feature is quite handy. Now in the same notifications toggle on the second page, you can also find this feature called the music share. If you want to connect two Samsung devices to one same Bluetooth device, you can do so using the music share feature. If you will play the music from one device, the other device will automatically stop, and if you play music on the other device, this device will automatically stop. Remember that you cannot play the music on two devices simultaneously. Now here you can also see the quick share feature. I have already explained what this feature is. This is basically used to turn on the visibility of your phone. You will just go here and click on receive files to keep it turned on. And another useful feature here is the dark mode, since we know that the S20 FE comes with a very good Super AMOLED panel, and the dark mode is going to be really useful to save a little bit of battery on your phone. In fact, this is going to be really easy on your eyes, especially in the low light conditions. So make sure that you use the dark mode whenever you feel comfortable. And now here we also have the screen recorder feature. The screen recorder, as you already know, can be used to record any tutorial or anything else on your phone. You can select what sounds you want it to record. If you want to record media sounds, just select it and start the recording. Now here you can see that this is the edit button. If you just select this pencil, you can write or do anything else on the screen, make any markings. And if you click on this small icon here, you can appear in your video, and you can also resize this selfie video in the screen recorder, and you can just stop it and it will be saved to the gallery of your phone. Now if you want to go into the screen recorder setting, just go to the notifications toggle, long press the screen recorder toggle. Now here you can see that you can change the resolution, you can change the selfie video size, set it to 720p, 480p, or do whatever you want. Now the screen recorder also reminds me of showing you how to take the screenshots on your phone. There are multiple ways to do so. First of all, you can press the volume down and the power key to take a screenshot. If a page is scrollable, you can just click on the scrolling icon that will appear here in order to take a scrolling screenshot. Now you can also change the settings of the screenshot. Just go to the settings on your phone and here go to the advanced features. Now in the advanced features, you can see the screenshots and screen recorder. First of all, you can select whether you want to hide the status and the navigation bars in the screenshot. For example, whenever you take a screenshot, the status and the navigation bars appear in the screenshot. Let me show you. As you can see that you have the status and the navigation bar in the screenshot. But if you don't want this to appear here, you can just turn on the hide status and navigation bars. Also, if you want the screenshots to delete themselves after you share them with someone else, you can select the delete shared screenshots. There is another way to capture a screenshot. Just swipe your palm on the screen like this and it can capture a screenshot. You can also set multiple shortcuts to capture a screenshot on your Samsung Galaxy S20 FE. Moving on to the home screen settings now, there are so many options in the home screen launcher of your phone. So just go to an empty area of the screen, long press, and now click on the home screen settings. Now first of all, I would like to show you how you can bring in more icons into one screen inside the app drawer and also on the home screen. By default, it is set to 4:5. You can just change it to 5:6 for both the home screen and the app screen. I have set it already, and this is how you can fit more icons into one screen on your S20 FE. Similarly, go into the home screen settings once again. If you want to show the apps button on the home screen, you can just turn it on and the apps button will start appearing it here, and the swipe up will also work. In the home screen settings, you can also find the lock home screen layout. If you're tired of the home screen icons moving here and there on their own, you can just go to the home screen settings and lock the home screen layout. This will prevent all the icons from moving here and there. Next to that, we have the add apps to the home screen. Although it works with the lock home screen layout, if you just want to separately block the app from adding themselves to the home screen after the installation, you can just turn this option on. All the newly installed apps will stop appearing on the home screen of your phone. Next to that, we have the swipe down for the notifications panel. I have this option turned on already. You can just swipe down from any area of the home screen and it will pull down the notifications panel of your phone. Usually you have to pull down the notifications panel from the top. Next to that, we have the rotate to the landscape mode. You can rotate the screen of the entire phone to the landscape, including the home screen, app drawer and everything else. Just turn this option on and rotate it to the landscape mode. If you want to hide any applications from your phone, go to this option and select the app that you want to hide. And now click on done. This application will be removed from the app drawer because it's hidden. To bring it back, just go to the home screen settings once again, click on hide apps and unselect the application that you just hid a while ago. And now this application will come back at the end of your application drawer. Let's take a look at the camera features now. The Galaxy S20 FE has one of the very best cameras. Actually, this phone has the flagship grade camera from the Samsung Galaxy S20, and this application also provides you a full flagship experience. Now this is the typical One UI 2.5 application. When you open the camera application, it brings you this screen with the resolution set to 3:4. You can change it to 3:4H for the front camera, which is basically the 32 megapixels mode. By default, the front camera will take only 8 megapixel images. To take the 32 megapixels images, you will switch it to the 32 MP mode here. Now in the 32 MP mode, it will not capture the live focus images. To do so, you will just go back and change it to 3:4, and now you can take the live focus images, and also you can take the wide selfies. Now you can see that not all the options are appearing in this camera tray of your phone. If you want to bring the camera features to the camera tray, just go to the more section. Now select the feature of your liking. For example, I want to bring the live focus here, and drag it to the camera tray and click on save. This way you can bring all the options to the camera tray one by one. Now in the camera app, there is one very useful feature. Samsung has added the quick video feature here. Just long press this shutter button and it will start capturing a video. This is called the quick video feature. So how do you take the burst shot images? Well, swipe down from the top of this capture button towards its edge and it will capture the burst shot images. This is how you are going to do it. You can see that it's capturing the burst shot images now. Now, as I told you that this phone offers you a full-fledged flagship experience, there is one feature that I was looking forward to, and thankfully that feature exists in the Samsung Galaxy S20 FE. Go to the more option in your phone and now click on Super Slow-Mo. Now what used to happen was Samsung used to add a Super Slow-Mo feature in the phone that recorded a clip of only 2 seconds. You had to perform your action within those 2 seconds in order to capture a slow-mo. While doing so, the user struggled while capturing the motion. The phone's camera was either too late or it was too early. Now in the flagship Samsung phone, Samsung gives this motion detection feature. The phone automatically records when the motion happens in front of the screen. That feature has made it to the Samsung Galaxy S20 FE. Now whenever you want to capture a slow-mo, just come here, turn this button on and then capture the slow-mo. This way you will be able to capture 100% perfect slow-mo video on your Samsung Galaxy S20 FE. Within the same more button, you can also see that we have the Pro mode. Now thankfully, this Pro mode is also feature rich. First of all, you can find all these metering and the grid lines and other options here. Now if you want to capture the raw images, go to the settings and here click on save options. Now click on save raw copies. This is how you will be able to capture raw images on your Samsung Galaxy S20 FE. Other than the Pro mode, you also have the Pro Video mode on the S20 FE. Just go to the more options, Pro Video. Here you can first of all find the intensity of your sound, and these audio bars are giving you an idea about the sound frequency as well. Now in the Video Pro mode, you can also see that the custom Pro resolution is appearing here. If you go to the settings and here you can see that you have the Pro Video size. Now in the Pro Video size, you can see that you can record the videos up to 4K at 60 frames per second and go down to 720p at 30 frames per second. Other resolutions are in front of you. Now in the settings, you can also turn on the video stabilization if it's turned off for you. And here you can also turn on the tracking autofocus. If a subject is moving in your video, the phone will automatically keep its focus on the moving subject. Let's get into the settings of the S20 FE now. In the settings, I am first of all going to show you how you can show the battery percentage on your S20 FE. First of all, go to the notifications on your phone and here click on status bar. Now click on show battery percentage and it's showing the battery percentage here. In the notifications, you can find the notifications lock screen at the bottom. In the notifications for the lock screen, you can change the view style, you can change it to the details and select the transparency of the details that you want to appear on the lock screen of your phone. And if you change it to icons only, you can select whether you want to hide the content or you want to show the content along with the icons. Let me also show you the sound effects on the phone. Go to the sounds and vibration, go to the bottom of the screen, and here click on sound quality and effects. From here you can turn on the Dolby Atmos for gaming, and the equalizer also appears here. You can change it to whatever you want. In the display settings you can find the motion smoothness feature. From here you can set the refresh rate of the screen if you want to use the 120Hz or the 60Hz. If your phone's battery is running low, you can select the 60Hz from here. This will reduce the battery consumption. In the same display settings, you can also find the screen mode. If you don't like this cool tone of the display, you can change it to natural and have a warmer look. Otherwise, keep it set to vivid. Now here you can also find the full screen application. Suppose that there is an application that is not using the full screen on your phone, any application that is actually adding a notch here, you can force all such applications to use the full screen mode. Just come into this mode and turn on the full screen mode for the application to enforce it. Here you can also find the navigation bar. If you don't like the navigation buttons on the phone, you can turn on the navigation gestures, and now the buttons are gone and you have more room on the screen of your phone. In the display settings at the bottom, you can also find the always on display. Now here you have the complete settings of the always on display. You can change the clock style, you can change the information that appears on the always on display screen. In the display settings you also have the language and input. Now there is one very sophisticated tip that I have for all the Samsung users. That is to hide the character previews. To turn the character previews off, you will first go to the language and input, click on the on-screen keyboard. Now here select the keyboard. Now in the Samsung keyboard settings, go to swipe, touch, and here click on the touch feedback. Now turn off the character previews. The character previews are basically the previews which appear at top of the keys when you type on the phone. So turning these off will not only improve the typing speed, but it will also add to your privacy. Let's move to the lock screen settings now. In the lock screen settings, first of all, I would suggest you to use a wallpaper service. Samsung smartphones come with a dynamic lock screen or the Samsung Global Goals lock screens. Dynamic lock screen basically brings wallpapers from 4 or 5 different categories which change every time you turn off and turn on the screen of your phone. So let's say I want to use the dynamic lock screen wallpapers, turn it on, and I want to go with the pets. It will download the wallpapers for the pets category and it will automatically apply it on the whole lock screen of my phone. Let me show you how it works, and here we go. These are the dynamic lock screen wallpapers which are going to work every time I turn off and turn on my Samsung smartphone. In the lock screen settings, at the bottom you can find the contact information. I always suggest adding your contact details to the lock screen of your phone. This is going to be useful if in case you end up dropping your phone somewhere, the phone's finder will be able to contact you. Let's move on to the biometrics and security settings. I also suggest using the Face ID unlock along with the fingerprint scanner of your phone. This is going to be useful especially when you're driving and your hands are not free to touch the fingerprint scanner. Just use the face recognition as a secondary unlock option. Now in the biometrics and security features, at the bottom you can find the other security settings. In the other security settings, the first option is to make the passwords visible. The passwords are visible on your phone by default. It means that whenever you are typing a password on your phone, the password appears in the form of character previews. You can just turn off this option and the passwords will not be visible anymore. This just adds to your privacy. Now in the same settings, you can also find the pin windows feature. This pin windows feature is really useful. For example, if you have given your phone to a kid and you want the kid to use the YouTube application and you also don't want the kid to go out of the YouTube application, you can just pin the YouTube application. To do so, you just have to launch the application on your phone. Let's say I am going to launch the YouTube application here. Now go to the recent applications, click on the YouTube apps icon here and click on pin this app. It's telling you that to turn off or turn on the pin windows, you can just press and hold the recents and the back key. Now you can see that the screen is pinned. Any kid who's watching YouTube on this phone or using any other application, he or she will not be able to go out of the YouTube application, but the YouTube itself will keep running fine. To get out of the pin windows, as I told you, just press and hold the recents and the back key and it will take you to the lock screen of the phone. The window is unpinned now. Now the pinned window also reminds me of the split screen feature on the S20 FE. If you are unable to use the split screen feature, let me show you how you can use it. Just launch the two applications that you want to use in the split window. Go to the recent applications and here click on the app icon. Now click on open in the split screen view. Select the second application that you want to use along with this application. You can change the order of the applications this way, and you can just exit the applications one by one or all together by pressing the cross appearing at the top. Let's get into the advanced features on the S20 FE now. In the advanced features, you can find the reduce animations feature. Now, although the whole purpose of the 120Hz is to boost up the animations on your phone, if you still want to reduce the animations, you can reduce them using this option. But if you have to reduce the animations, why would you get a phone with a 120Hz display in the first place? So this is going to be your own preference. If you want to speed up the animations further, you can just reduce the animations and you might be able to note a little bit of improvement. In the advanced features, you can also find the motions and gestures. Here you can turn on the lift to wake so that whenever you lift your phone, it automatically wakes up. And here you have all the other gestures. You can turn these on or off depending on your personal choice. We have the one-handed mode here. If you want to turn on the one-handed mode, you can turn it on from the advanced features. Here we also have the dual messenger. The dual messenger will show all the applications that support this feature. For example, right now it's only the Facebook on my phone that supports the dual messenger. Through this feature, you can use two instances of one application on your account. It means that you can use two WhatsApp accounts, two Facebook accounts and two Instagram accounts on your S20 FE at the same time. Let's take a look at some of the device care features now. In the device care, first of all, I recommend turning on the automatic restart schedule. Go to the advanced settings in the device care and here turn on the auto restart. Now select a time when you are asleep so that your phone automatically restarts. This is going to be really beneficial for the things to keep running smoothly on your S20 FE. Let's get into the accessibility features of the S20 FE now. Go to the accessibility settings and now here go to the advanced settings first of all. And here first of all you can see the side and volume up keys option. It is off by default. You can set this to perform any specific task. For example, I sometimes need to turn off all the sounds on my phone altogether. So what you can do is if you turn on the mute all sounds, you can just press the volume up and the power button, which is the side key, and it will mute all the sounds on your S20 FE. Other than that, you have all these options. Just change the behavior of these keys to the option that you like. In the same accessibility settings, we have the interaction and dexterity. And here one of my most favorite features is the interaction control. The interaction control is basically a feature which blocks a certain area of your phone's screen. It can block the entire screen as well. This feature is useful especially when you are showing your phone's gallery to someone. If you don't want the person to get into any other areas of your phone's gallery, you can just turn on the interaction control and it will block the screen. Now what will happen is that person will not be able to move away from that certain part of the screen or the entire screen. For example, in my case, I am going to block the whole screen. Now the screen is blocked, nothing is working on the screen. That person will not be able to take a look at anything else in your phone's gallery. To turn off the interaction control, you will just press and hold the same volume up and the power buttons and it will take you to the lock screen of the phone. In the settings, I would also like to show you how you can turn on the developer options, because there are going to be instances when you will need this option. Just go to the about phone section and here in the about phone section, go to the software information and press the build number for 7 times and enter your PIN or password. The developer options are turned on now. In the developer options, you can find the options like the USB debugging. You can find the OEM unlocking, which is going to be helpful when you want to flash a software on your phone. And you can also turn off the animations entirely on your Samsung Galaxy S20 FE. Let's take a look at the gallery of the phone now. In the gallery, first of all, you can find this option. This option is to group all the similar images together so that you can easily delete them. If you want to make a video collage on your phone, just click on this small play button here. Select the images or the videos and click on create a movie. The phone will automatically create a collage out of your selected clips or the images. Similarly, you can also select a video wallpaper on your phone. Just go to the videos on the phone open any video that you want to set as a wallpaper, and now set it as a wallpaper. A clip of up to 15 seconds can be used as a wallpaper on your Samsung Galaxy S20 FE screen. You also have the smart crop feature in the gallery of the phone. For example, this image, and now I want to zoom in and I want to smartly crop this image. Let's say now this is the icon that appears here. Click on this and it will crop the image and save its copy in the gallery of your phone. You can see this is the cropped image on the phone. The last setting is regarding the phone application on your phone. When you will have your S20 FE set up and fully running, and you will open the phone application, it will often open to the recent contacts or the call logs. If you don't want the phone to open to the call logs, you can just come here and click on this options key here and set it to open to keypad. This way it will always open to the keypad and you will be able to dial a number on the go. And guys, that brings our video to its end. I hope you guys found something useful in this video. If you found it useful, please make sure to drop your feedback and also hit the like button. If you loved this video, please make sure to hit the subscribe and help me reach 50,000 subscribers as soon as possible. With that said, I will sign off and see you all in the next video.